banger? Hell yeah.
Class is in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC Guy, and Trade Fly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Yo, good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, September 10th, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. Markets are just now opening. It looks like the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Dow all opening slightly to the upside. Bitcoin getting a little pullback this morning, currently sitting at about 56,000, all just under 57,000, and Ethereum is fighting to regain that $2,400 range, guys. We're going to be looking at this, where we are with the economic data. Big week this week with CPI and PPI. And we're going to talk about Bitcoin to $200,000. But wait, Piper, that don't fit the bearish narrative. We're going to break it all down. Let's get it, guys. Class is in session. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Market Report here on Piper Academy. I am Army Piper, and this is a show that we bring at you every weekday morning at market open, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we talk about bearish charts, and we talk about bearish economy stuff, and then I sell you guys the hopium of $200,000 Bitcoin. That's what we do here, but I don't do it by myself. I have all kinds of people that come up here on this show and help me out. Usually it's TradeFly and OC Guy. Today, only OC Guy. TradeFly doing his fiat mining, but let me mute my phone because I've got this thing just like binging over here, and I don't know why it's doing all that. Let me lock that down first. OC, how you doing, man? What's up, and what's good in the neighborhood?
I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit frozen here, but other than that, I feel I'm
Wow,
feeling
you
pretty
are
good.
totally frozen. Hey, just stay looking, just keep looking at your screen, sir, and it will all change, okay?
I might need to reset my camera. Last minute thing. I don't
Yeah,
know what
you
happened.
do that. I'll jump into
Yeah.
news. How about that?
Let's do that. Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's jump over to the news. We'll get it started, guys, and we'll talk about this $200,000 Bitcoin scenario that I'm talking about. But first, as it says in the title, we have to survive the rest of this year, right? Looking here at the fear and greed right now, it's sitting at 33. We're still sitting in fear. Did get a little pump yesterday, and then we hit some key resistance. Shout out to Chart Prime on that. I'll show you where it was at. Rejected perfectly on it. But now we are getting a little bit of a pullback this morning. I could see a lot of volatility taking place today with the CPI data that's coming out tomorrow, that report. So market cap still sitting over $2 trillion. Shout out to Crooks Crypto. And then 54% is the current Bitcoin dominance. Guys, right now, yesterday, 26, today, 33, but still sitting in fear. Let's jump over to the crypto bubble, see how they're looking. Looking here on the daily, quite a bit of green out there. Starknet down red, Tron's down red, Gala, XMR, stuff like that. There's Maker, there's some red on here, but for the daily, for the most part, it is green. You can see here on Bitcoin, though, we are getting this 0.6% down in the past hour, getting a little pullback down there, and then on Ethereum down 0.46 there. Even though they got green on the daily, starting to get those pullbacks on the hourly here. Toncoin has moved back up to number 9, guys. It's still up 3.3%, down almost a little over 0.75% there on the hourly. Tron dropping its spot, giving it up to Ton. And then Chainlink, guys. Chainlink is continuing to drop. It's at $10.46, moving down here to number 15, down 0.6%. Anything else in top 20 here? Guys, look at Caspa. Caspa has taken position number 21. Shout out to Retro Mike Tech. His favorite token on the planet, moving up one position, taking over Uniswap there. So that is what we have there. Let's jump in, take a look at these liquidations. In the past 24 hours, 39,562 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $124.1 million. Largest single liquidation happened on Bybit. It was Bitcoin coming in at a cool $2.86 million on a single liquidation. Let's go into here. Nope, we're going to move that down the road. Let's kick that can down the road. We'll talk here first. So today, guys, we got API, crude stock changes. This is going to be an indication about what's going on with the oil prices. And I actually have an oil article, so I'm not going to drill down Drill down, get it? That's funny. Not going to drill down too much on this because I do have the article to talk about. Let's go over here and finish this tomorrow. This is going to be the big one that we have, guys. It is core inflation rate month over month. We're going to get that, and then we're going to get that core inflation rate year over year with the inflation rate currently right now. The core inflation rate month over month has a forecast that it could be a little bit higher. Okay. The inflation rate right now projecting to be neutral. And then we have the year over year coming in here 2.6%, 2.7%, well under the year over year. But when we look at the CPI here, we do have this CPI saying, hey, I might be coming in higher than it previously was. So even August showing that. So guys, this is a catalyst for a pullback tomorrow, because if inflation is returning, there's two factors to think about here when you're talking about the inflation rates and what will cause the economy to go into a deep dive or to a dive or to rally and at least stay afloat, right? The two things are, one, we see job numbers start to go really poor, further weakening of the labor market. The other one, inflation returning, right? Because that would mean that Jerome Powell really has to get the team together and talk about 50 basis points. Like, or do we even need to cut, right? Because the worst thing you want to do is cut rates and then inflation returns and then go back to more rate cuts again. That would have an impact on investor sentiment. So seeing these numbers like this, guys, it's going to be a critical one, and that is why the thumbnail says what it says today. It might be your final buying chance, but we do have to make it through this year. Okay. Moving on to reminder, that is tomorrow CPI. PPI is going to be coming out on Thursday, and that is actually looking neutral on the PPI month over month, but it is looking like it's coming up on that core PPI month over month. So you don't actually want this. This is it's costing more to make goods, right? So that's what we have there. And then jobless claims, we'll get all that on tomorrow, also Wednesday, also Thursday, my bad, Thursday, but Wednesday we're getting all the CPI data. So currently right now, let's give this a refresh. There we go. Looking at this, guys, we're currently sitting right now looking at a 27% chance of 50 basis points on September 18th. This is next week for the FOMC. So 50 basis point rate cut, 27% right now. It's 73% chance of only 25. So it'd be interesting to see how those numbers reflect tomorrow when we get that data on CPI, if it does come in higher than expected. So let's jump into here. Yeah, we can jump into this real fast and then we'll talk about that oil. Guys, this is China's real estate stocks. They're officially below the 2008 levels. What is happening in China? Real estate stocks down to the lowest level. Really, it's actually lower than what they had in 2008 if you actually look at this here. So but yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. That is a major majority of their GDP. If you guys don't know, a big chunk of China's GDP is strictly based on their real estate. And if their stocks are down to 2008 levels, that is showing a great weakness there on China. We're seeing a lot of weakness in the Asian markets in general. So Asian sell-off has been a real thing, and that could cause Japan to raise their interest rates again, which would finish that Japanese carry trade unwind. So just a lot of things to keep in mind there. Keep it in the back of your mind. So when you see these things, you're aware of them. Oh, see, it's good to have you back and not frozen, bro. What's up? What's up, Elsa? Let it go. Just let it go.
Absolutely. Yeah, I even had a chance to go grab my coffee here. But other than that, doing very great. I mean, fantastic. I'm pretty happy with holding a little bit before starting to plan out my exit, or as you were calling it, which is the fact, of course, which is risking off, right? We have a little bit nice bouncing here. I'm looking at a possible resistance. But other than that, let's see, because 200K, that's getting closer of my calculation. So we're getting there. We're getting there, right?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump over to my chart. We'll come back and talk about these articles. I got an article today on, let's see here. I got to go look at it. We got an article today on oil prices. Morgan Stanley cuts oil forecast, saying says traders are pricing in a demand slowdown similar to what is seen during a recession. So, we like to talk about that oil a lot on here. And the other one is this one right here. I'm gonna tease it. Here you go. You ready? New Trump trade is Bitcoin. Price could top $80,000 if he wins the election, according to Bernstein. So there you go. And that's coming up tonight, if you guys don't know. But you should not be over there watching the debate tonight. I'm going to let you know. You can go and watch that. It won't change anything. You know what will change? Your support for the Billy Goat Tales if you are not over watching Billy Goat Tales tonight, because Amy Lives Crypto is starting it out, and then the second half is Crux of Crypto and I breaking down what the current picture for Bitcoin and crypto in general looks like for the next 3 months, 6 month, 9 month, year. So make sure that you are over there in Billy Goat Tales. Shout out to BC Port Corp in the chat. I see him there. If you guys missed the show this morning, they had a great pre-market show open. It's called Good Morning Crypto. It's right here on Piper Academy and BC Port Corp and Lunar Beaches. Taking off at that show. We're bringing you guys all kinds of content here on Piper Academy. All right, let's jump into a chart, OC. Let's go chart. Let's go talk charts, good sir. So here's what happened. See, what had happened was we had this little area down here. We had this little uptick. Whoa, why am I doing arrows? Don't do arrows. I need a brush mark. Thanks. We had this little oversold. We had the uptrend arrow that printed here. We got a nice little pullback, started to get that green. And yesterday I was telling you guys, look, guys, we're starting to get green here. Getting a little green mark here. That's going to be an indication of upside. And what did we do? Well, I'll be darned. We definitely did get that uptick, taking us back above into the channel and back into the golden pocket. However, we wicked perfectly up here to the dynamic reactor on Chart Prime, got a perfect rejection off of that. And right now, we're kind of flagging out up here off of this stick. We do have the downtrend here on the True 7, okay? We do have a pink oscillator ribbon that printed. We didn't even get the peach. It just went straight to pink there. So that's kind of interesting. We did get the downtrend here. And I do want to point out, we have money flow coming up, but it looks like the volume is starting to reverse again. RSI Prime sitting a little high. Let me go to my side-by-side view, see what that chart's telling me. Yeah, it's looking pretty red over there on the top side, guys. It does look like we could be setting up for a pullback down. I'm going to watch for this level right here because, we came in and we broke below the channel. Let me show you what this channel is first so you understand when I talk about the channel here. It's this long-running channel. It goes way back in history to that Ryan MCA and me and Mike D. Back here, this is the previous cycle, or excuse me, I was on a 4-hour, not a daily. Let me go to the daily and show you. This channel back here, shout out to Tradefly. This is his beauty of a channel. It goes all the way back here to the 2021 cycle here. You can see how much a big chunk of this played in there perfectly. If we come over here and there was another one here. We rejected off of it. We bounced on it there. So if we look at where we are on this right now, we did get a pull down below it. We have pulled back up into this golden pocket. I do think that on the 4-hour, it is very likely we could be pulling back down in to a retest of this. Now, if we bounce off of that and get any rejection and pull back below this, guys, I am watching for this $49,000 to $50,000 range down here on this long running trend line that goes back here to March. So keep an eye on that too. But we lot of channels and a lot of support lines in proximity to our price, but right now it does look like we are flagging. So it's pretty cool. Let's get over to OC's. OC, show us what you're seeing on your chart, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about what's going on the rest of this cycle, and then on top of that, how we get to $200,000. So let's go over to your chart.
Absolutely. So basically, just take a look at what I've been looking at throughout this month. Already, there's this possible bull flag that we are basically just hitting the bottom part here. As long as we keep that part, well, then I think we are completely safe. Also, there's a chance that, which is what I do expect, a little bit of a shakeout here for the dynamic record come here and make its place. When this is the weekly, so do not expect a big pump like tomorrow or today, right? I mean, if we are going to have that a big pump, well, then we're going to see the signals in lower time frames. But so far, let's just pay attention to this little blue thing that I have on there. For that, let's go to daily very quickly. and even the 4 hours. So this is the daily where I was talking about the previous week, I think midweek here, and I was copying a couple of candles to see what was the price action I was expecting, right? So I was expecting a little pullback here, a V-shaped recovery, and that V-shaped recovery was because of the spring of the Wyckoff, what we talked about yesterday, right? In fact, if we go back in here, let's see if I can have it. If I draw it and did not removed it, should be this one. Come on. Oh, there we go. We were talking about this V-shaped recovery here before we get back into the previous range, right? Are we in the previous range? Not just yet, but let's just keep going on what's happening here. So as you can see, I was expecting this pullback all the way to this trend line, which is the center of the channel, right? And then a sharp rejection, right? So it seems like we have our first negative candle here. Seems like also my prediction was a little bit slower like that. So I'm gonna still leave it like as is because we could be flagging out a little bit. So be careful because we are still below the zero line on the daily. And despite we have a bullish divergence, a reversal, and a peak seeker, again, we are still below the zero line. Money flow is not green, and true 7 is not pointing up. So we are still bearish, right? Let's just wrap it up on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, exactly the same thing. Very nice swing fail pattern here, or double bottom, and then going to the dynamic reactor exactly as we were expecting. Now we are having at this point a reversal. We are above the zero line in this case, but we are below the dynamic reactor, which they are counteracting each other. So we are neutral in that case, which means we are still in our previous trend, and our previous trend is the bearish. So at this point, I am thinking to open up a short position. What I want to see is just a continuation of my rebound here to the downside and the true 7 breaking back down, or the money flow flipping back down. Also, something important to note is that we already have bright green all the way down here. And when we start seeing that bright green, look at what had happened before. Bright green, reversal, right? Bright green, reversal, bright green, and a little bit higher, and reversal. So things are pointing bearish. Guys, do not get overconfident with this little pump. It is just a normal up, down, up, down, up, down movement from an actual trend. So be patient, stay cool, and stay also ground leveled because things might get starting to get shaky. So other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Be very careful. Shout out to Fifi Third Frog after Pepe and Hoppy. Um, what is your prediction? How low is Bitcoin going to go this month? We're actually going to look at that because I have. If you're new here, we actually have talked about this, but we're going to break it down. And if you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe, hit that like button, all that good stuff. Helps us out immensely. And welcome to Piper Academy. So, yeah. So I actually do have some levels that I think that we're going to go to. I don't think that I don't think we're going to pump up from here. I do think that we are going to do maybe a small range for a flag, but I ultimately think that that's what's happening. We're going to get low. We're going to get lower. How about that? So let's jump over to my chart and take a look at what I'm seeing on there and where those levels are at for that downside move. It is down here. So we have two things going on here. One, we have a trend line that's been running back since March that has been a support level that I think that we're at least going to test again. That's about 50,000 this month, okay? And it would not take as much to get down there. Matter of fact, if we're to come back and try to pull some liquidity off of this, I'm looking at 48,400. That also falls in line with what I'm seeing on my long-term chart, guys. And on my long-term chart, this goes back all the way, to the history. If you have never seen this before, it's the entire history of Bitcoin in a Fibonacci channel. I am actually watching for us to lose the 887 here at 56,000. We'll call it just for easy numbers, and revisit the 786. That 786 currently comes in right about 48,626. Okay. That would also put us in the window of testing the 786 long-term diagonal. So I could see that easily. Now, when I come over, nope, we're not going to go to that chart yet. You don't get that chart yet. When I come over here and take a look at some key things, though, what is the worst case scenario? Well, it has to do with this entire pool here of the fixed range volume profile. This goes all the way back, by the way, to September 2023. So about 1 year. If you take a look at where the point of control, which is the dash red line that you're seeing right here, take a look at where that's at. It's about $43,000 range. So overall, I do think that we have $48,000, $49,000 in play. However, if we do break that and we break that 50%, then we have to take into consideration that it's 43,000 on the point of control. And if we're going to come to that, we might as well test the 382 because we've already broken the golden pocket. We got a perfect rejection on the platinum pocket, by the way. We already broke the golden pocket. We would have broken the 50, and now we might as well test the 382 for a true strength of that sequential support range there. So that's what I'm looking for, 48 to 49. But ultimately, I do think that 40 to 43 is in play 100%. That's what I'm seeing, especially when we keep getting rejections off of the support like this here. That's a dynamic reactor, and we broke completely off of that on a perfect wick. So downside movement from there would just make sense. Of course, this does make continuation of another, because if we came down to here, this is a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low. That would make a new lower low also, and that would continue this trend that we have going on since March of this year. So that's what I'm looking at on that. So anything under 40K, I get scared. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Let's jump back over here to Duocam. Anything under 40K, I get scared. I am with you on that, Crux. That is why I've taken such heavy profit. I am still, for transparency, I want you guys to know, I am still holding my ETH. I'm still hodling ETH, okay? Because I bought it so cheap. Um, I've sold pretty much all of my altcoins. I converted them. I'm still sitting on quite a bit of Bitcoin, quite a bit of ETH, and that is about it right now. The rest of it is dry powder because I do suspect that we're going to see some lower prices. Why do I think that? Well, we've talked about it here about the uninversion of the 2 and 10 year. We've talked about all that data. I'm not going to show you those charts. We're going to talk about it tonight. You want to hear about that? Tune in tonight to Billy Goat Tales. We're going to talk about it there. But I'm continuing to see other things like the iron market commodity is starting to slow down, which means manufacturing slowing down, construction slowing down, right? And then the other one that is an indicator of that is this here, and that it would be the oil, guys. So Morgan Stanley cuts oil forecasts as traders are pricing in a demand slowdown similar to a mild recession. After last week's steep sell-off, oil prices suggest traders are pricing in a demand slowdown that is similar to a mild recession, according to analysts at Morgan Stanley. To be clear, the economists anticipate a soft landing for the U.S. economy, saying it will exit 2024 on fundamentally sound footing. Okay. But there are some trouble signaling in the oil market, and a recession-like scenario is not entirely to be dismissed. Commodity strategist at Morgan Stanley told clients in a Monday note, crude oil futures have declined precipitously, nailed it, in September, with Brent and U.S. crude oil on Friday's posting the worst week since October 2023, which was about 11 months ago, guys, almost a year. The demand, it looks similar to the patterns in the past 35 years of Brent oil price data. The bank found that the best fits are December 2019 through March 2020 and June to September of 2009, the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. That's what we're matching up to right now on demand. Naturally, this paints a weak picture. If the fit with these periods continues, further downside might be ahead. So oil is getting very bearish, and I know that you track this stuff a lot, OC. You got that chart up? Of course you do, because
Absolutely.
you're such an oil nerd.
I'm such a how do you call it, oily guy. All right, so first of all, I want to show you guys that we've been talking about this for a long time, right? In fact, I shared my secrets with you here on the Piper Academy, and I share how I predict the oil changes and translate them in Economy Matters, right? If you here is exactly where I got it. Let me share with you this link. It is in the Piper Academy. Just click the link and it will take you right away to the message that we have here, right? Going to Brent oil here very quickly. Remember that we have, and let me see if I had things hidden here because we should be looking at them right now. Where are they? Where are they? Come on. I think those are. Well, I don't know. The thing is that we were looking at these areas right here. Maybe I just turned things off, right? And why was I looking at areas down here? Because we have an order block. And what else we had right down there? Remember, let me just draw it once again because it seems like everything just went to crash. We had a huge support area here, right? And remember, I also made not only a line, but I made a channel. So let's clone this. And this is my entry channel here, right? So what is my entry channel? This is when I'm going to be trying to catch the price of oil. If you are trying to long this, right? And it is right there. Also, remember I just mentioned you guys that do not start getting panic until we start losing this area. We could be even going a little bit back far out here. Yes, target lock and shoot it. And look at that. I mean, we are right there on that channel, right? We could be seeing at the end of this little flag out a little bit of V-shaped recovery. That will be completely normal, and this could be a good opportunity to enter. But if we see something like this, let me show you very quickly. If we see a breakout, retest, and big body candle continuation to the downside right here out of this channel. So basically, breakout. Let me paint it out for you guys here, so it makes much more sense. Breakout, right? Retest, maybe a little bit of a ranging action in a big body candle going all the way down here. Guys, strap on. It's time to panic. I'm telling you that sell everything or anything, but start preparing seriously for a big market change, right? So far we are on the safe zone here. We are on opportunity, but if you're trying to scalp this, be very careful and consider volatility within this range. So I mean, price of oil are getting lower than even 2020 Monday 20th March 2023. So basically looking at 1 year ago, right? So we are very close to disaster. We're still holding up, and I think investors know this for a little bit. There's everybody's just nervous in here, and they're just taking things slowly, right? Once again, we're not like doomed or anything. We're still within range, right? We're still within range. We know this was going to happen, and we were getting ready. So you guys have already the tools to start looking at oil. Remember, this is your quick guide to translate what's happening in oil to the economy, and then for you to get prepared and understand where and how to invest for those cycles on economy. Other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah, I just gotta laugh. This is a little sidebar thing here. You said you got to strap on instead of strap in, and it funny
Oh,
story here. So no, because it's an in on thing, right? So in the
yes.
military, we have we have a lot of Spanish speaker, English second language individuals, and so a lot of times they will, because of the translation of English to Spanish, on and in, like I'm on the house instead of in the house, right? But when we think of like I'm on the house, it's on top, right? Or like on the bed versus in the bed. And so there's been some situations where you've had some soldiers that were like, we were in bed watching TV, we were in the bed, or instead of on the bed. It's little bit of a different thing there, right? So no, we were not in bed, we were on the bed in the barracks there, because you don't have a lot of places to sit, right? So it's funny. But yeah, strap in, strap on, one and the same when it comes to OC, guys. So let's guys, we're going to come back and we're going to take a look at this chart here. This is the chart that I was talking about for that $200,000 Bitcoin. So we're going to be taking a look at the history of this. But as you guys know, we do not do ads during the live stream. I turned that off. We do mid-roll. So we'll be right back after this message. Stick around. Hey guys, I love using Chart Prime, but they have something that is new. It's fresh, it's hot, and you guys have got to check this out.
Get full access to every single one of our custom-made influencer indicators. Receive ongoing exclusive Plus member indicators, access Plus member only classes, and much, much more with the Chart Prime Plus package. Let's take a sneak peek at some of the features offered exclusively to Plus members.
Here's an example of our new oscillator on Tesla stock. As you can see, there is a strong downtrend. However, we see the money flow and volume wave trending up, creating a divergence with the price, and you can also see the volume gradient is becoming more predominantly green while trending up and setting higher highs. Not only that, we also see the ranking line maxed out at -70, simultaneously with oversold signals appearing and a reversal triangle to top it off. Now, if I play this out, you can clearly see where the turning point was in this market trend.
There's a whole lot of powerful stuff coming out on Chart Prime with Chart Prime Plus. Guys, if you're already a member, go log in today and check it out. Get upgraded to the new powerful Plus oscillator and all of the features that come with it. Plus, if you're not a Chart Prime member, check out the link below. Get 45% off, guys. It is the biggest discount in the market for the most powerful tools on the market. All right, there you go, guys. All those links are down below. Thank you for surviving my mid-roll. We got other ones coming too. Crux and I need to get together. We're going to be working on building them for In and Out Crypto and the coffee over here and all that stuff. So yeah, no ads, ad-free live streams in the morning here. Let's get into this chart though. Let's talk about why Bitcoin could hit $200,000 and what's the downside on this chart. Let's go take a look at this and see what I'm looking at here, guys. This is called Mayer's. This is the Mayer's indicator, okay? And historically here, you can see that, mind you, the Mayer's band at the bottom does not go back past 2013, did not pick that up. But you can see very, very hot and red on this thing. That was when we were breaking the Mayer's band. Typically, when we get above that or in the range of that is when we finish out. That's where we cap out. Bottom sides usually catch really clean on the bands, and you can see that we print all the buy indication down here. This is a great DCA indicator, okay? Moving on in time here, next halving, we had some periods here where we did peak, right? But we were sitting really strong on the median line. You can see it plays as resistance sometimes, and a lot of times it does play as support, okay? Went into the cycle here. This is the 2017 cycle. We get buried up in there high. You can see this thing got really hot for a long time. It builds up, starts creating this nice little divergence or a nice little ramp there for the upside movement. Then that's it. End of the cycle, start to come down. We start to move into the bear cycle again. Again, catch that bottoming, gets really thin in here. It's our support level. We get our DCA periods in here, DCA period right there, which is this period. And then we also get this dollar cost averaging period here during the Rona dump. Then we go into the halving again. Now, something interesting here that I want to point out is the first one. This is where the pi cycle actually crossed at during this cycle, which was here. And then we get a little bit of a red one here as we go higher. That actually created this divergence because price did go slightly up from the first hump to the second hump. But at the same time, we created this divergence. And then that should have been a clean indication for downside movement. And then we get back into the green band again. This is our buying period. And we had that pretty much since right before the FTX dump. You can see this is the FTX dump here. Let's get in here. This was the FTX dump right here in June. We actually started to get green indication way back here before we were even in that range. Comes down into the green section after FTX, did their rug pull on the entire world. And then we come out of that here. Now, I want to remind you guys, this point right here is actually where I was talking about that we would not break the 786. This section is the same as this section, okay? So running this in now, guys, we do have the green coming in at about $25,000, okay? That is the downside there that we're looking at on this. And that would be the absolute, like, as Crux said, he gets really scared when we lose $40,000. Can you imagine what everyone would be like if we hit 25,000? But let's go look at the upside of this and see how that's looking. Some things that I do want to point out is right now we have flipped the median as resistance, and we are below that right now. That is typically not a good place to be when you're looking at the history on this, because once you go into that, that's pretty much it, right? Even here, we tried to get above it, couldn't, rejected, retest, down it went, right? So that is a post-halving cycle. Once we get above it, we should typically, oh, don't do that, sir. Go back. We should typically stay above that until the cycle is over, right? So you can see here, had a little pullback. We went right back up in it. We have got to retake that in order for this to be, let me do that, hit that. Nope, that's the wrong one. Thank you. Let's go there, hit that. There we go. Perfect. We need to get back above that in order to take this to the bullish side above that median line. That's what needs to occur. And if we can't do that, then guys, we are looking some levels in here, like we were talking about, that 40 to 43, that 48 to 49. But if we can get back above this, that would be a catalyst for over the cycle. Obviously, it's not going to be that big of a one, but this is looking at a 184 at the current levels. Obviously, this is still going to continue up just a little bit. In angle, but you'd be looking at somewhere in the ballpark of about 184 to about $225,000 Bitcoin, based on this indicator being the top, as it has been in other cycles. Now, something that I do want to point out on this, though, is that the downside movements on this do not necessarily have to hit the green cycle. You can see we have pulled back historically. I do believe, let me go look. Yeah, we have pulled back historically where we never got quite all the way down there, right? So looking at where we are, you can see some of these pullbacks here. We got above it. This pullback right there to that bottom mark, that was a 40% pullback, 39.7%. So there is doesn't mean just because we can't get above this median that we're going to head back down to the green line. It just means that we could have to look at other support levels here, which is why we've looked at that level of $48,000 to $49,000 and as low as that $42,000 to $40,000 range. And that's really all based on what's going on economically, with the 2 to 10, the rate cuts, that what's happened historically. When we get those two things, the SOM indicator, like, they've always led to recessions. With a soft landing, remember, recessions can be as short as 3 to 6 months. So if that was to happen, and we're talking a 3 to 6 month period, that would still put us in early summer, that we could be, or late spring, early summer, that we could see that parabolic return and V-shaped recovery on the market. So that is the worst case scenario. Shout out to Bad Fox. Bad Fox and I, we engage quite a bit on X. So if you guys don't follow her, go check her out. She's on X and she's a phenomenal person, very funny. And I'm glad to see her here in the chat. Biomex in the house. Also, Lunar Beaches is in here. Who else we got in the chat right now? Green Day Profits, I see you. Alexander G, of course, best mod in the game. Mike Play in here, Crux. Alexander G, dropping all them chart prime links. I appreciate you. Baba Yaz is in here. Trade Intuition. Guys, by the way, today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, FD White and myself will be live with Trade Academy every Tuesday and Thursday. We do that. We're going to be looking at some trade setups and some strategy approaches to it. And then also on the tomorrow morning, after the morning market report, I'm going to be over on Dano Crypto Show. I told him I'd drop in over there and hang out with him for a bit, show him some stuff of what I'm seeing on the economic side. I think, a lot of guys, they are really good TA guys. They get into the charts, they look at what they're seeing there, they like to point out some things, but they don't take in to effect. It's an area of operations. That's their chart area of interest, is what impacts your area of operations. They miss that area of interest, which I think is the economic data. So I'm going to go over there and drop that for them. And then this Friday, right here on the morning market report, we have special guest Crypto Blood in the house. He's going to be joining us live on the morning market show. So shout out to Crypto Blood. You guys need to stay tuned this whole week. And don't forget, there is a pre-market show with Lunar Beaches Crypto and BC Port Corp. They're breaking everything down before I even get here of what you need to expect and be ready for. They kind of set up the ball so I can spike it. They are valuable members of the team, and I'm glad to have them. So, OC, what do you think of the mayor chart, man? man. Like, obviously, I don't think we're going to go down to 26K. If we go to 26K before returning above that mean line, we've got really, really bad stories to tell our family about next year. So what happened, Mr. Billionaire? Well, you see, what had happened was Fed Reserve. But yeah, what do you think? That's at least putting us 180,000 to 225,000 for the upside of where I think we will be at. And I showed yesterday how that mirrors from where the low is to the halving, and how that flips over from the halving to the top. So that's top should be somewhere around October, early October of 2025, which would put that around $225,000 on the top side. What do you think about that? You're muted. You're muted. There you go.
You're muted.
There's your 80s sitcom.
Oh yes! Oh my God! So let me repeat a couple of things. In fact, that you also told me, and also that we've been hearing through the whole cycle, which is true, right? Which is, I mean, everything is in the round of possibilities. All right, so I mean, going to 20K Bitcoin. In fact, I was talking about that yesterday on Chart Prime's server, and I mean, we have seen, and this is what repeats over and over, we have seen right now uncharted territory of Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin is in a place where it haven't been before. Remember, we just had, this is just what, the third cycle, fourth cycle, sorry, and what we're getting right now, nothing, not much actually, right? I mean, last time was the pandemic. How many times in your lifetime you get that kind of pandemics? No, I mean, not too many, right? At this point, we're going into a recession. How many recessions have you been lived through, or have you lived through, right? I
A
mean,
lot.
I would say not too many. Exactly.
I've lived
I
through a
mean,
lot.
how many? That's what, just maybe two at most,
Oh no,
right?
no. We had one in the 90s. We had one in the 90s. We had one in 2000. We had, oh, whoa, hey, look, my stuff's back. I love it.
I had just
We had one in the 90s. We had one in 2001. We had one in 2008, and then 2020. So I've had like four or five. So
Oh, really? Well, I mean, a
yeah,
couple of those, I will argue that they were really recessions, right? But that's just my perspective, because the data will define whether if it's it or not. But the thing is, at this point, we have institutional money. We are going to a possible recession admitted for the SEC. If that happens, we have the flip of the bonds, right? We have rate cuts, and we see jobs not responding that well so far, right? So at this point, 20K Bitcoin, uh, it's just, I would say not probable, but still possible,
not likely.
and
It's possible, but
exactly
not
not
likely at all.
likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's jump over here. I want to show this real fast, and then let's go ahead and get a couple of alts. I'm going to take a look at Ethereum. Just pull up something. Buck said he's old. Thanks, Buck. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. That
Um,
was
nothing but love. Nothing but love. I know you young bucks with all your young age numbers. So
Pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
that's right. You guys need to get that experience under your belt. So let's take a look at what I'm seeing over here on the stock market right now. You can see Apple down 1% after their event yesterday. Pretty much talking about, hey, yeah, we got a better camera, the really good camera on the Pro. And they said we got this generative AI thing that's going to do, I don't know. I watched the entire thing, and I don't really know what the AI is going to do on Apple Intelligence. That was pretty much all they gave on that. They did have some big differences on their watches. The watches can now detect sleep apnea and all kinds of stuff. And then the headphones, they announced a new AirPod Pro that can actually work as like a hearing aid and all kinds of stuff. So some cool little things on that. But overall, it was meh. The coolest thing on there was that they had an otter. They showed, the AI generated images, and there was one of an otter coming out of the water. And I said, how did Alex O make it on the premiere for Apple? But yeah, they're down 0.96%, almost a full percent. Amazon up 1.82. Microsoft up still 2.25 today. It does look like the Dow is having a little bit of a pullback right now. It is down about 0.62%, but yields are dropping. So let's go take a look at those, and then we'll take a look at Ethereum. We are continuing to get a little bit of a pullback here this morning, guys. Remember, 56,168 is the 618. Going to be looking for support on that. But I want to go and show you guys what I'm seeing on these yields, because it looks like the yields are pulling back right now, which means people are buying the crap out of treasury bonds. That's what that means. I will show you that as soon as I can pull it up here. There we go. Let's go look at the 2-year. 2-year, that's a 1-year. There's a 2-year. So right now we are getting a pullback this morning on the yields. This means that people are buying them. When they buy them, the interest rate comes down over here. See that? That's how much they're offering for that yield. And that means that they don't need to offer you as good of a yield because people are buying them up, right? They need to entice people to buy them when they sell them, and that makes the price go up. So when this was happening here, the rates were going up because people were selling. This means people are buying them. So people are still moving risk off heavily right now, guys. I just want to point that out. Now let's go over and take a look at Ethereum and see how that is looking, and then we'll come back around and see what OC's got pulled up for you guys. There we go. Ethereum, come here, sir. Let's get you in here. All right, so looking at Ethereum, let me see what indicators I have. Yeah, my low to high, perfect. Do I have my other ones in here? I think I have another setup. Yep, there's that. Oh God, look at that, perfect. Look at that perfect rejection on that old trend line there. Yeah, that is it. Okay, cool. So let's take a look here and see what we're seeing here on Ethereum on the 4-hour, guys. I have a 236 down here. Now we did just place a double. We just placed a double bottom here on Ethereum. But something that I want to point out is this trend line here, this blue trend line. This goes all the way back, guys, to November of 2022. Almost 2 years ago. This is where we literally just rejected off of here, losing that as support. We rejected on it here back in August, and we rejected on it here back in August. Now we have this resistance coming in, which is the quantum reactor and the dynamic reactor. This line here, this is your quantum reactor. And you can be above it. You see here how it turned gray. We went above it and it turned gray. It didn't turn green. This told you that this was not likely to stay above. This is a no-buy zone. Don't go long here. It's gray, right? This thing picks up on a lot of other data. You can see that once it goes green, let me go back here. Here, it went green almost instantly. This said, yeah, this is good. This is solid, right? Go back here, went gray. This said, no, not really. It didn't turn red until here, and then we come up and retest it and pull back, right? What I'm looking at here on the current time frame with this, again, this is the quantum reactor. It's from Chart Prime's Market Oracle Pro. This is key resistance here. So even if we get a pull up, we got the dynamic reactor and the quantum reactor adding confluence right there on an overlapping level at about $2,400 to $2,500. If we do get up here, look for a rejection on that. I do think that we are ultimately going to head down to this 236. And if you see this dashed yellow line down here, this dashed yellow line goes even further back. Let me go to the daily and I'll show you how far back this one goes. This one goes all the way back here, guys, to July 2020, and it has been key support for a long time up through here. If we had to see where we are now on price, yep, that was at the end. You're on the daily, bro. Where we would be on price coming down to here, I think that if we wait long enough for this to play out to get down to the 236, we probably get a wick down to the $1,900 range here sometime in September, October. Where would that be on this old school support line? Not looking too strong right now. Just take a look at the oscillators here. Downtrend arrow just printed right there at the top of that. Let me get rid of all the Mexican spaghetti so you can see the price action up there above. Perfect. We did get that downtrend arrow right there. That just happened right here at the top of this peak, right there. We are now moving the true 7 to the downside. It looks like money flow is coming up to the 0 line. As you can see before, anytime that we've done that and it was a continuation, it has bounced off of that to the downside. And it does look like the volume right now is starting to curve on this volume matrix. If I bring this up and show you that, you'll see that there is a curvature happening happening right there. That means volume starting to cut down. Top it all off with the little cherry on top. That's that red block on the RSI primed saying downside movement also coming for Ethereum. So things are looking a little weak on Ethereum right now on the 4 hour, and we do have some key levels sitting right below us that we need to hold. Let's go ahead and kick it over to OC, see what he's got there on his charts.
Absolutely. I was looking at Quant because Quant is one of those assets that at this point it is actually turning eyes. And that is because of the structure that is being breaking, right? Let's take a look at here. We have a previous high and we are breaking that previous high while also being above the dynamic reactor, right? So what we're looking for, because we are also above the zero line here. Let me just get things closer. Here we go. It is a continuation or of the here we go, of the money flow. So a continuation to the upside and also the true 7 flip up. If we can have that, well, I think that we could be on a run and also see a continuation to the upside to Quant. What's going to be in the next target? Let's first analyze how far could we go down for a retest, and then we're going to be looking at our next possible target at these previous highs. If we start turning on our support and resistance, you'll see that we're not that far away manually, and we can just adjust tiny little bit there for a possible up run if we can catch this low areas here as we flip up on the ribbon. Something important also that I want to say, ALC. I am so bullish in ALC and ALC. You have been making me so much money here. So look at that beautiful up run. It just doesn't care about the market and keeps pushing forward. Keep doing that. ALC, by
That's
the way, double
that's what
double meaning up there, by the way.
that's what ALC
Yeah.
does. She doesn't care about the markets and she just keeps pushing up. That's what it.
Absolutely, yes. And I think this asset reflects that very, very well. So keep pushing, keep pushing. It seems beautiful. It seems all very, very nice. So other than that, really quick, just to take advantage of time, QQQ. This is an important, trust. Something that I'm not liking about this is that we have confirmed a lower high, right? Despite we also are building up higher lows, well, then we could be into a pickle. Right now, we're making a symmetrical triangle and we could break both ways 50-50. So just be aware of these two possible breakouts, because at this point, man, that will be a big fall or a big run up, right? So we are between the hard places, and a breakout of anything will be explosive. So keep your eyes on QQQ. Turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. I'm going to jump over here and take a look at some stocks real fast. Because I like to look at these stocks too, guys. Like they're going to give you a good indication of what's going on. You just talked about the QQQ dumping. That is the tech sector. So let's jump over and take a look at what we're seeing over here. Nvidia showing a little bit of green today, but big sell-off. The bears have taken control of today's opening and have now pulled back that candle to be a negative candle. It's a sell-off candle now. I am watching here though, MicroStrategies getting its sell-off. It's trying to hold this 50% line. Right now, we'll see if it is. The candle is going to be pulling to there. But you can see here, guys, perfect rejection off of that quantum reactor again. I'm telling you guys, if you aren't using Chart Prime and you look at charts, you're missing a bunch of valuable data. It does look like right now also on RSI Prime, this one's free. This is a free indicator here from Chart Prime. It's got a curvature here. It does look like we're getting ready to get more downside on MicroStrategies also. Clean Spark, let's take a look at that. It's trying to hold inside the platinum pocket. It has fallen drastically since getting rejected off of the golden pocket. And then last thing that I want to show you guys is on Bitcoin here. I want to talk about the CME gap because we still have not closed that. And I talked about it here. If we put this on the daily, you'll see it. There's the daily CME gap. There is the opening on Monday. There's the closing on Friday. Guys, we still have a gap sitting below us, and it's coming in at 53,715. I do think this week we will come down and close that. Again, that's coming in at like $53,700, we'll call it. So you guys need to be aware of that. It is there on the chart for you, and we talked about it on Monday. It's a big thing we look at every Monday morning because those gaps do tend to get closed. So, OC, you got any anything else you want to look at, or we got about 5 minutes, or we can wrap it up early and get prepped for other stuff today. But I think we've gone through a pretty good picture here of what's going on in the markets. Everybody's selling off today, it seems like right now, for holding their breath for the CPI data tomorrow morning. That CPI data will be out before we go live. It's going to be coming out an hour prior, like 1 hour to the market open, 1 hour to us going live right here. So you guys need to make sure that you watch today. We've got here's your lineup on Piper Academy. Ready? This afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're going to have Trade Academy with FD White and myself. This evening, you're going to have at 8:30, it is going to be the Crypto Nightcap with FD White and TradeFly. Right after that, we're going to be live on Billy Goat Tales on X Spaces with Amy Lives Crypto, myself, and Crux, breaking down some stuff and chalking it out. We're splitting that show tonight. Then tomorrow morning, you're going to have Good Morning Crypto going on right as all that data is coming out on the markets. That is going to be at 5 a.m. My time, which is 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is Good Morning Crypto with BC Port Corp and Lunar Beaches Crypto. And then I will be telling you what all that data means that comes out an hour before opening at the market opening tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right back here on Piper Academy for the morning market report. Lots of stuff in the next 24 hours, guys. So, OC, do you got anything for the people on the way out? Let's go ahead and head out of here. And while you talk about that, I'm going to go set us up to do a push over to the frat mom's house because she's over there waiting for us, Randy Hipper. So, what do you got for the people?
Absolutely. So, guys, thank you so much for joining. A quick reminder to click that like button. And today, I'm not going to tell you what the like button does because you already know. We'll make your hair grow. We'll make your refrigerator pop up in your food. We'll make expired things go good. So it does all those kind of things. But have you guys ever noticed, and this blew my mind, on a movie from Neo? Remember that guy?
The Matrix?
Yeah, the Matrix. So he went to see the Oracle, right? And the Oracle was a program. And she keep offering him cookies.
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
Yes.
Yeah,
the program is offering cookies. Exactly. That's why. Yes. Good job, OC. Welcome. Welcome to Computer Programming 101. No, I love it. Let's go ahead and head out of here, guys. We're going to be heading over. I just got it set up. We're going to go raid the frat mom's house, Randy Hipper, right after this. So make sure you drop those graduation caps. Let them know the alumni is in the house, guys. We will catch you back here tomorrow morning. Make sure you tune in. We got content all day long here on the show. Tune in. But, guys, we'll catch you back here tomorrow morning for the morning market report at the market open. Till then, guys, trade safe. And as always, use the stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, Crux Crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Tar Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome,